Once upon a time, there was a little goat called Emily Brown and an old grey rabbit called Stanley.
One day, Emily Brown and Stanley were just launching themselves onto outer space to look out for alien life forms when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the kitchen door. It was the chief foreman to the Queen. He said,
The Queen has very kindly noticed your rabbit. She would like to have that Bunnywunny. In return, she offers this brand new golden teddy bear.
Emily Brown looked at the Queen's teddy bear. It was stiff and new and gold and horrible. It had staring eyes and no smile at all. "No, thank you," said Emily Brown. "This rabbit is not for sale. And his name isn't Bunnywunny. It's Stanley." And Emily Brown shut the door politely. An hour or so later, Emily Brown and Stanley were just riding through the Sahara Desert on their motorbike when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. It was the army. The captain saluted and said,
Her Most Royal Highness Queen Gloriana III greets Miss Emily Brown, and she would still like to have that Bunnywunny. In return, she offers her the brand new golden teddy bear and 10 talking dolls that say Mama, Mama.
Emily Brown said, "I don't want 10 talking dolls. I want my rabbit. And his name isn't Bunnywunny. It's Stanley." And Emily Brown sent that army away, less politely this time. A few days later, Emily Brown and Stanley were just deep-sea diving off the barrier reef when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. It was the Navy. The Admiral saluted and said,
Her Most Glorious Royalness Queen Gloriana III greets Miss Emily Brown, and she would like you to hand over that rabbit at your earliest convenience. She points out that she is the poshest person on the planet, and Bunnywunny will be much better off with her. In return, she offers you the brand new golden teddy bear, 10 talking dolls that say Mama, Mama, and 50 rocking horses that rock forever.
"I don't care who she is," said Emily Brown. "This rabbit belongs to me. And his name isn't Bunnywunny. It's Stanley." And she sent that navy away. A few weeks later, Emily Brown and Stanley were just climbing through the Amazon rainforest when there was a rat-a-tat-tat on the garden door. It was the Air Force. The wing commander saluted and said,
Her Excellence the most mighty Queen Gloriana the Third greets Miss Emily Brown and says she must have the Bunnywunny right now, or she will not answer for the consequences. In return, we will give her a brand new golden teddy bear, 10 talking dolls that say mama mama, and 50 rocking horses that rock forever, and all the toys she could ever desire.
Now Emily Brown was fed up. She sent that Air Force away, and she pinned a big notice on the garden gate that read, "This rabbit is not for sale, and his name is not Bunnywunny. It's Stanley. Emily Brown." A few months later, Emily Brown and Stanley were lying fast asleep in bed, dreaming of all the adventures they would have the next day, when there was absolutely no noise at all at the door, or the gate, or the window. Silently, in crept the Queen's special commandos. Shh! And stole the rabbit that belonged to Emily Brown. When Emily Brown woke up the next morning, for the first time in her life, there was no Stanley.
Emily Brown ran into the palace, and there was that naughty queen crying like anything. The first thing she said was,
Thank goodness you've come, Emily Brown. There is something wrong with Bunnywunny. There was indeed something wrong with Stanley. That silly, naughty queen had put him in the royal washing machine all night, and he'd come out an odd pink colour. The royal dressmakers had stuffed him full of stuffing, so he wasn't flippy floppy anymore. And worst of all, they had sewn up his mouth where Emily Brown had picked it away. And Stanley wasn't smiling anymore. Stanley was miserable. Oh, Emily Brown, Emily Brown, is there anything you can do? Asked the silly naughty queen. There certainly is, said Emily Brown. I shall take Stanley home. That silly queen started crying harder than ever. I have all the toys in the world, but none is as nice as Stanley. Emily Brown felt sorry for that silly queen. So she went to the royal toy cupboard and she took down that brand new golden teddy bear and she placed it on the queen's lap.
Emily Brown whispered so that no one else could hear.
You take that horrid brand new teddy bear and you play with him all day, sleep with him at night, hold him very tight, and be sure to have lots of adventures. And then maybe one day you will wake up with a real toy of your own. And Emily Brown and Stanley went home.
Goodbye, Miss Brown. Goodbye, Miss Brown.
That was the last Emily Brown and Stanley heard from that silly, naughty queen for quite some time. But one day, a couple of years later, just as Emily Brown and Stanley were exploring the outermost regions of the Milky Way, there came a rat-a-tat-tat on the kitchen door.
It was the postman with a letter for Emily Brown, and it said, "Thank you